Coach, how much do you need somebody to fill Nick's shoes, not so much in terms of what he does as a hockey player, but as a leader out there today?
I'm not worried about that. We have it's a leadership group, and it changes our lineup a bit. He plays in all situations. It gives other people opportunities.
Ryan Murray is on his game. What do you see from him?
Get us out of our end zone. Sees the ice really well. When he's healthy and top of his game, he's one of the top defensemen. I think he reads the ice well. But his biggest asset, and you lose a guy like Nudie, and quite honestly, losing Kukan, we need a puck mover back there, and I think that's his biggest asset.
Kukan had really made some strides, hadn't he, before?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it sucks. Yeah. I happy for what he's doing right now, and happy for the future of the organization too. It's funny what happens, especially at that position. You kind of can get lost down there in the American Hockey League. Everybody's chasing you all over the place and chasing the puck around, and sometimes the lack of position. It happens a lot, especially at the defense position. When you play in the National Hockey League, you're a better player. So yeah, we are thrilled as far as some of the minutes he gave us. It's just too bad he gets hurt.
What do you think worked so well for you guys against the Devils last time and against the Islanders in that game after that too, and that maybe isn't always there for your team?
I think the Devils game, I think it's just one of those nights for them. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna. That's a well-coached team. That's a good hockey club. The Islanders, I just thought we had a lot of ice to play on, and I think we allowed ourselves to play. Like I was talking to the guys the other day, Danny, and I'm in my building, that I think we're generating offense. I don't want us to lose the swagger of our offensive flow because we don't get results. Mm-hmm. And we have really struggled all throughout the year in finding ways to consistently get results. Even you play good, play bad, whatever it may be, you got to find a way to get the result. And we have struggled with that. And that's my biggest fear, is when you don't get the result and you lose. And this is something we have really tried to express upon them. I want them to go. I don't want them thinking. I want them just to go offensively. Z's got to be up the ice more. They got to start dictating the pace more. Defense, yeah, you have to think a little bit, positioning on it, but I don't want them overthinking offense. So I just hope we don't. We start banging some pucks in, and then you don't get results in certain games. You think you play well, and you start hesitating. I don't want us to hesitate. I'd rather have us making mistakes, us being in the second row somewhere, because we made the decision and we stuck with it.
Mm-hmm. Changes tonight. Who gets in?
Juice is out. Dalpy's in. I think that's and obviously Murr. Right? So that's the only change. Healthy scratch. Yeah, healthy scratch. Yeah.
You've been obviously a big supporter of Jack Johnson. How have you seen him handle all this, stuff? We've talked about it before.
Hey.
Over this leading up to the
trade deadline. Jack had his best game of the year last game. He was, like talking to Danny here, he made decisions and he went with it. And that's why you saw probably his most physical game for us. He just headmanned the puck. He chunked the puck up the boards just to get it out of our end zone. He simplified everything. It was probably the best game I've seen him play for us. Hey, it's well known. Jack has a lot of stuff going on around him, on and off the ice. I think he's handled himself very well. You guys sensationalized the trade stuff like that. Like he came in pounding his fist, I want out of here. That is the furthest thing from the truth. So Jack is one of those crusty old pros, as I always like to call him. He gets it. He cares about his team, and he's just playing. And wherever this goes, it goes. It's not going to change how he prepares himself and how he plays the game.
With Werenski, what you were mentioning earlier, has he been battling with that with the maybe is it indecision or whatever all year, or was he doing it the way you wanted him to do it early and then it kind of went away?
Yeah. There's a lot of things going on with Z that I'm not going to talk to you guys about, but it's changed his game a little bit. He's got to find a way to play through some things that he has to go through when he plays, and I want him a rover. That's when he's the best, is when he's a rover, and I just haven't seen enough of that. and with Jonesy also. I think they dictate our pace. We need to get away from being at time. I'll give you for instance. I watched Z the last game. He has the puck. It's a turnover just inside our blue line. Instead of turning it up and going, he goes back behind his net. You know, and that split second goes back behind his net, makes that decision, and now who did we play last game? Pitt, yes. All 5 guys are inside the red line, and they have that zone clogged. Instead of, his instinct is usually turn it up and go. Bring someone to you, make a play, jump by, and let's get going. That's where Z's got to get back to. And, you know, I've been pretty honest with you guys. He's banged up, but he's not banged up enough to where he has to sit out. It's a process for him as a young man, learning how to play when you're not feeling great. And I think he's going through that process right now. But shit, we got 23 games left. Let's get going the other way.
Torts, wouldn't you guess that Murray would play with that same style of play tonight just because of everything that he's been through tonight? He's finally back on the ice. He can just go play.
Yeah. I hope that's the way he feels. You know, he's watched a lot of hockey and been in the stands a lot in his career. I hope he has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, and because I've kind of pushed him along the way in certain situations, and I hope he has a chip on his shoulder that he doesn't want to just test the waters. He wants to make a difference here. And with the injuries we have now, as far as puck movers back there, this is a great opportunity for him.
John, you talk about wanting them to go and pushing and pushing and pushing. You've seen them get chances. Do you wonder if this team has a finish?
Well, but you know what? The most important thing is not if I wonder, it's if they wonder. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's where I think it's frustrating for offensive guys. Is man, and we've had games in the last 7 or 8 games. I think 5 of them we've had over 20 scoring chances, and some pretty good ones. You know, coaches A, B, and C, A chances, and all that stuff, and we've had a lot of A chances. Does it play on the guys, and does it make them more tentative? Do they look to pass them? That's what we're trying. We're just trying, and that's my job, is to make sure they just stay with it. And Andy's one of them. He's our leading goal scorer. You know, he's all over the map mentally right now. And we sat down with him with some video today and told him just to stop thinking and just let your game go. And I think that's what has to happen to a lot of guys. The Islander game, I forget the 2 games where we were just flowing offensively. They were just playing. And so that's the key for us right now. I think to play and not overthink. And if you make a mistake, don't worry about it. Get ready for your next shift and go that way.